Hello, and this is the video for the Diviner class, consisting of Dream and Spirit masteries. Diviner is quite a flexible class. Can go in a number of directions. You can be a melee or a staff user or a petmancer. You can even try an archer if you want to. So I'm gonna tackle some of these builds. Well, most of them pretty much. This is gonna be the default one. Like by default, I'd say it's best to go melee. So I'll begin with the Dream Mastery because I think that's probably the one I think you should start with. Although you probably can start with Spirit as well. Okay, skills here from left to right. On the left we've got the trances, as you know them: Empathy, Convalescence, and Wrath. By default, go for Convalescence because that's the best for survival. But if you've got specific builds in mind, like Empathy for the Reflection build you want, and also Trance of Wrath is good for auramancer build because it would go well with the Death Chill aura from Spirit. So together, Trance of Wrath and Death Chill aura, they'll be quite powerful and they're really weaken the enemies and reduce their resistances. So that's good for auramancer. But otherwise, Convalescence is the one I would go for. The Lucid Dreaming, yeah, good tree as usual. Every dream character should usually go for it. Nightmare, as a regular default build, I didn't go for it, but with a petmancer, you would. I'll discuss petmancer in a bit. I didn't go in Nightmare because I thought it's probably better to invest in other skills. Sands of Sleep, I usually don't go for it because there are better skills out there, but you could try it if you want to. I put 1 point in Psionic Touch. Once again, there's no left mouse button skills for a diviner unless you're going staffs. But if you go melee, then there is no left mouse button skills. So Psionic Touch might be worth at least 1 point. Distortion Field. Don't really go for it. It's not that powerful. Phantom Strike. I would definitely go for it with the melee diviner. Phantom Strike, very good crowd control, very powerful. Distort Reality, another powerful skill, petrifies enemies with its synergy. Distortion Wave, incredibly powerful early game. It loses its effectiveness later on a bit. It is quite a skill point hungry tree, so if you wish to, if you think you've got enough of these attack skills already, like Phantom Strike and Distort Reality, you've got them. You could, instead of going for Distortion Wave, you could go for a pet like a Nightmare, for example, or a Leech. But yeah, I went here for a Distortion Wave, as you can see. Let's go to the Spirit. On the left here, we've got Turn 9 attack. That's only for staffs. So if you are a staff user, you go for it, and I'd probably go for it instead of take the points from Phantom Strike, because Phantom Strike is only for melee. So you probably won't need to go for Phantom Strike, so you invest those points into here, into Turn 9 attack. Death Ward, I don't really find it that useful, but you could stick 1 point in it if you think it does save you. It's probably only good early game, but later on, just a few hundred health points, it's not gonna really save you much, is it? If their enemies are really powerful later on, they would either one-shot you or they wouldn't. So it's like that usually. Death Chill aura, right? Death Chill aura would be pretty much your main spirit tree. It's a good debuff. I'll go for all of the skills in it. Just remember that the Ravages of Time synergy, it's a bit bugged. So you need to be having the fan patch 1.17 for all of the skills in Ravages of Time to work properly. So just to keep that in mind. Life Drain. That skill is only good early game, like first couple of acts, but after that it's not very powerful, so I wouldn't really go for it later on. You can always change the skill points. Enslave Spirit, that's another one which is good early game because you can enslave quite a lot of enemies, but then later on in the game you'll have quite a lot of enemies. Their levels are much higher than yours, and you can't really enslave the enemies which are, I think it was something like more than 5 levels above you or something like that. So you'll be failing to enslave the enemies late game. Outsider, that's a good temporary pet. I usually stick 1 point in it, and it lasts for about, I think, somewhere between half a minute to 1 minute. So that's pretty good. For difficult parts, just summon him, he'll help you out. Vision of Death, good 1 point wonder. Just cast it on the enemies and just watch them run and panic. Dark Covenant with the Unearthly Power synergy. It's not too bad. It's quite good for sort of regenerating energy, and with the synergy it makes you really powerful. But the only thing, just watch out, is that it drains your health. Maybe early game it might be a bit, draining a bit too much, but late game, that health drain is not too bad. The Leech, as I said, it's for petmancer build. I'll mention that in a second. Spirit Ward and Spirit Bane, both that's 1 point in each of those output, just to give you an extra edge against the undead. And undead are among the most common enemies you meet. You meet them in every act, so that's good to have at least 1 point, and you can put some more if you wish. I don't go for the Circle of Power though, because it's not as good as the Spirit Ward, I think. And I'll mention the petmancer. So if you see with the Dream, I went for Nightmare here, and yes, you Mastermind. That's good. If you're just only going for Nightmare, then don't get the Mastermind. If you're going for Leech as well, then Mastermind would be helpful, because then the Mastermind skill would work on a Leech. It'd make him more powerful. So that, and you see in Spirit here, I went for Leech. I didn't go for the Arcane Blast because quite a lot of people say it's not very powerful, and judging by the stats, it does seem a bit lagging behind the other skills. But definitely get the Wrath Shell. That's good to make your Leech withstand a lot of physical damage. And Death Nova is pretty good. If you notice here, with the petmancer, it's a bit skill point heavy. If you see, like, it says estimate character level 68, so you might notice that some of the skills here you might want to sacrifice some of those points if you want to go for both pets, because you do use up quite a lot of skill points for both Leech and Nightmare. And finally, I'll just mention the stat points. If you're going for a melee diviner, you most likely would want to go about a ratio of 2 points in strength and 1 in dexterity. And if you're going for a staff user, then you'd want to put majority of your points in intelligence, maybe a few in dexterity, but majority will be in intelligence. If you do see you run out of energy too fast, because there will be quite a lot of active skills to cast, then put a few points in energy. You might there might be a possibility to go for like a hybrid build with a diviner. So if you are going for a hybrid diviner, then you'd want to put points in all strength, intelligence, and dexterity, probably at a ratio of 2 in strength, 1 intelligence, 1 dexterity. But I probably wouldn't advise that kind of build. So that's pretty much it. That's a diviner. So bye then.